I want to tell you a true story. Last week, I ran into Bob, a 72-year-old friend of mine at the grocery store. He mentioned that for the past few months, he'd been feeling unusually exhausted, experiencing uncomfortable bloating, and sometimes dealing with nagging back pain. Probably just old age, you know, he said with a forced smile. But when I heard the details, I felt a sense of unease in my heart. At our age, those of us who have lived through 6, 7 decades of life, there are many times when our bodies send important messages that we tend to dismiss. Today, I want to share with you about a disease that doctors in America call the silent killer, pancreatic cancer. This isn't meant to frighten you, but to help you listen to the whispers that your body is sending us. Did you know that pancreatic cancer currently claims the lives of more than 65,000 Americans each year? This number is more alarming than breast cancer and prostate cancer combined. What's heartbreaking is that the 5-year survival rate hovers around just 12%. Why is it so low? Because nearly 80% of patients miss the early warning signs, dismissing them as minor nuisances of aging. But here's what I want you to engrave in your heart. Recent medical research shows that these symptoms often appear 3 to 6 months before the disease is detected. That's our golden opportunity to intervene in time. Our pancreas, though small, about 6 inches long and hidden behind the stomach, plays the role of a remarkable biochemical factory. It produces insulin to control blood sugar, while secreting important enzymes that help digest food. It's precisely because of this deep, hidden location that tumors can grow silently without triggering clear warning signals. Today, I'll share with you 8 surprising signs of pancreatic cancer, some signs so familiar that we often don't notice them. And here's the important discovery. According to research, recognizing 3 of these symptoms simultaneously can improve early detection rates by up to 70%. Why does such a dangerous disease receive so little attention? Why hasn't this knowledge become a common topic in everyday health conversations? Let's carefully examine each sign together. Sign 1: dark-colored urine, my friend. The color of your urine can tell us a very important story about your health. When pancreatic cancer develops, it often affects the bile duct, leading to a condition called jaundice. This happens when bilirubin, a yellow compound created when red blood cells break down, accumulates in the body. Normally, bilirubin is processed by the liver and eliminated through stool, creating the characteristic brown color. However, when pancreatic cancer blocks the bile duct, this system is disrupted. Even if you're drinking enough water, your urine may turn dark yellow or brown, like the color of cola or strong tea. Many people often overlook this symptom, thinking it's due to dehydration or dietary changes. But if this color persists for more than a few days, despite adequate water intake, that's when you need to see a doctor immediately. This color change often appears before other signs of jaundice, like yellowing of the eyes or skin, making it an extremely important early warning signal. SIGN2, abdominal or back pain. The location of pain can reveal important information about where the tumor is located. When cancer develops in the body or tail of the pancreas, patients often experience a different kind of discomfort that's hard to ignore. Imagine a dull, persistent ache that seems to emanate from deep within the upper abdomen. This pain often radiates to the back, creating a sensation like a band of pain around your torso. Unlike typical stomach pain, this discomfort tends to worsen after meals or when lying flat on your back. The pancreas sits within a complex network of nerves and other organs. As the tumor grows, it can press against surrounding structures, causing pain signals. Some patients describe it as an annoying sensation inside, while others compare it to a constant heavy pressure. The characteristics of this pain are very significant. Initially, it may come and go, giving you periods of relief. However, as the disease progresses, the pain often becomes more persistent and intense. Understanding these pain characteristics helps doctors distinguish between pancreatic cancer and other conditions. Sin 3. Changes in the digestive system. Pancreatic cancer has the ability to severely disrupt the digestive system through multiple interconnected mechanisms. The pancreas plays a central role in digestion, producing important enzymes that help break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates into forms that the body can absorb and use. When a tumor develops in or near the pancreas, it can interfere with enzyme production or block the pancreatic duct, causing a chain reaction of digestive problems that are both uncomfortable and concerning. When digestion is impaired, food may linger in the stomach without being properly broken down, leading to persistent nausea, vomiting, and overall digestive discomfort. Over time, this disruption creates a noticeable decline in appetite as the body struggles to process nutrients effectively. This often leads to unintentional weight loss, muscle wasting, and nutritional deficiencies, further weakening the body's ability to recover. A particularly warning sign of digestive decline is a noticeable change in stool appearance. Since the body can no longer properly break down and absorb fats, stools may become pale. And unusually, it's the body's way of signaling that something deeper is wrong. Sign 4. Fever and chills. Fever in pancreatic cancer often signals the body's response to the inflammatory effects of the disease. When the pancreas becomes inflamed, it triggers the immune system's natural defense mechanisms. These temperature fluctuations can be particularly confusing because they often come and go. You might experience episodes of feeling freezing cold and shivering, followed by periods of high fever. This pattern is different from the steady fever you might experience with common infections. The combination of jaundice and pancreatic inflammation can create a perfect storm for temperature abnormalities. The body is essentially fighting on multiple fronts, dealing with bile duct obstruction, inflammation, and the cancer itself. When these fevers occur, they're often accompanied by night sweats and general malaise. Unlike viral infections that typically resolve within a week, these temperature fluctuations tend to persist or recur. Sign 5. Blood clots. While many people associate cancer with tumors or pain, few realize that pancreatic cancer can silently create the conditions for dangerous blood clots. This condition is called hypercoagulability, meaning the blood has a higher than normal tendency to clot, particularly in the deep veins of the legs. Deep vein thrombosis is a common result, often manifesting as unexplained leg swelling, warmth, aching, and red or purple discoloration in the affected area. While these symptoms might seem minor at first glance, they harbor serious danger. If part of the blood clot breaks free and travels through the bloodstream to the lungs, it can cause a pulmonary embolism, a life-threatening medical emergency. What makes this process particularly alarming is the underlying cause. Pancreatic cancer releases inflammatory substances that disrupt the body's natural clotting balance, dangerously tilting it toward excessive clot formation. This creates a perfect storm within the body, where blood clots can silently develop without warning. The warning signs of pulmonary embolism are unmistakable and should never be ignored. Sudden shortness of breath, sharp chest pain that worsens with deep breathing, and rapid or irregular heartbeat. When these symptoms occur, they demand immediate emergency care because every minute can make the difference between life and death. Sin 6. Swelling of the gallbladder, or liver. When pancreatic cancer develops, it can create a chain reaction in neighboring organs, particularly affecting the gallbladder and liver. These changes occur because pancreatic tumors often block the bile duct, the important pathway that carries bile from the liver to the small intestine. Your gallbladder, normally the size of a small pear, can become noticeably enlarged when bile backs up. This enlargement happens because the gallbladder continues to store bile, but cannot release it properly due to the blockage. Similarly, the liver may become swollen as bile accumulates inside. This swelling can sometimes be felt during a physical examination, appearing as a hard, enlarged mass below the right rib cage. Modern imaging techniques like CT scans and ultrasounds can clearly visualize these changes. The relationship between these organs is delicate and interconnected. When one system is affected, it creates a domino effect impacting other systems. Understanding these connections helps doctors piece together diagnostic clues. Healthcare providers often check for these organ changes during routine examinations, as they can be important indicators of underlying pancreatic problems. Sin 7. Bloating, or abdominal distension. Pancreatic cancer can significantly disrupt digestive comfort in ways that many people don't expect or recognize initially. The pancreas plays a crucial role in producing enzymes that help break down fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, ensuring smooth digestion and nutrient absorption. When a tumor develops in or around the pancreas, it can interfere with this delicate process, leading to unusual feelings of fullness and persistent bloating. One of the earliest and most concerning signs is early satiety, feeling full after eating just a few bites. This happens because the growing tumor may press against nearby structures like the stomach or small intestine, limiting space and altering digestion. As a result, meals that once felt normal can suddenly leave you feeling bloated, tight, or even slightly nauseous. Unlike typical digestive discomfort from overeating or mild stomach upset, the bloating seen in pancreatic cancer tends to be persistent and stubborn. It often doesn't improve with common over-the-counter remedies like antacids or dietary adjustments. The abdomen may feel noticeably distended, even when you haven't eaten, and this sensation can last throughout the day, making it difficult to ignore. Over time, what makes these symptoms particularly concerning is how easily they can be brushed aside or misunderstood. Many individuals assume they're dealing with stress, indigestion, or age-related changes, delaying medical evaluation. But when feelings of bloating, early fullness, or abdominal tightness continue for weeks without clear explanation, they deserve careful attention and medical assessment. Recognizing these subtle but persistent digestive changes can provide a crucial window for early detection and intervention in a disease that's often diagnosed too late. Sign 8. Fatigue or physical weakness. Pancreatic cancer can rob the body of strength in ways that extend far beyond normal tiredness. This isn't the kind of fatigue you feel after a busy day or poor sleep. It's a deep, unrelenting exhaustion that shadows you regardless of how much you rest. Even after a full night's sleep, you might wake up feeling as though you barely slept at all. Inside the body, cancer cells compete with healthy cells for energy and nutrients, gradually depleting the body's reserves. Simple daily activities like walking, climbing stairs, or lifting light objects can suddenly feel overwhelming, making everyday life a constant struggle. But it's not just the body that suffers. This physical weakness often comes with emotional challenges, including feelings of sadness, anxiety, or frustration. Many people also experience disrupted sleep, which only deepens the exhaustion and creates a cycle of both physical and mental stress. What makes this fatigue dangerous is how easily it can be confused with stress, aging, or overwork. Unlike normal fatigue, it doesn't improve with rest or relaxation. Instead, it persists and gradually worsens over time. Recognizing this persistent, immovable fatigue is key to seeking early medical attention, as it may be one of the few early clues in detecting pancreatic cancer. My dear friend, pancreatic cancer is often silent, but its impact is anything but small. What makes it dangerous isn't just the disease itself, but how easily the symptoms can be overlooked, disguised as harmless digestive issues, fatigue, or simple discomfort. However, as we've seen, these signs are far from normal. They are the body's silent alarm bells, trying to tell you that something deeper is wrong. By recognizing even a few of these early symptoms, whether it's dark urine, unexplained fatigue, sudden bloating, or persistent back pain, you may be giving yourself or a loved one a precious advantage. Time to seek help, time to act before it's too late. The truth is, that knowledge saves lives, and sharing that knowledge can save even more lives. If this information helps you understand the hidden signs of pancreatic cancer, imagine how many other people could benefit. Remember, your awareness today could mean someone's survival tomorrow. Health is the most precious asset we have, and listening to our bodies is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. Never hesitate to seek medical advice when your body is whispering important things. Your life is valuable, and you deserve the best care. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 74-year-old woman I know through our senior community group in the Oakland area. Margaret was very careful about her health, regularly seeing her doctor, doing light exercise every morning, and always paying attention to her diet. But about 8 months ago, she began noticing small changes in her body that she initially attributed to aging. First was an unusual fatigue after activities that she previously did. As she often told me, "I don't understand why I feel like my battery is drained lately. Even though I sleep well, I still feel exhausted." Then she began having trouble with eating, frequent bloating, feeling full after just a few bites. And most concerning was that her stool had an unusually light color and very unpleasant odor. Fortunately, Margaret's daughter Sarah is an experienced nurse. When Sarah came home for Thanksgiving, she immediately recognized these unusual signs. "Mom, I think you should get thoroughly checked," Sarah said with concern. Margaret initially didn't want to, feeling like she was bothering the doctor with trivial problems. But Sarah insisted on taking her mother for tests. The CT scan results showed a small tumor at the head of the pancreas, fortunately still in early stages and hadn't spread widely. The doctor told them that if Sarah hadn't recognized the signs and insisted on early examination, the situation could have been completely different. Margaret underwent a Whipple procedure, a complex but potentially life-saving surgery. Today, 6 months after surgery, she's recovering well. She often tells people, "I was lucky to have a child who knew how to listen. But more importantly, I learned that our bodies are always trying to talk to us. We just need to know how to listen." Margaret's story isn't an exception. According to statistics from the American Cancer Society, patients whose pancreatic cancer is detected in early stages have a 5-year survival rate of up to 39%, 3 times higher than the overall average. This proves that early detection truly makes a significant difference. The important thing I want to share with you is, never feel embarrassed or ashamed about seeing a doctor for seemingly trivial symptoms. At our age, paying attention to health isn't being a bother. It's a responsibility to ourselves and to our loved ones.